Okay, good afternoon, my student. I'd like to continue our course about agriculture regional development. This is the second meeting of us after midterm, and the topic for today is the new paradigm in rural or agriculture business regional development. Where is the new paradigm of regional development? We are now on the shift from the classical theory of regional development to indigenous development. The classical theory of development is the previous development concept, what we call it modernization and dependency theory concept, who mainly based on the theory on economic base, trade, production, concept of growth that create a lot of issues during the implementation or the use of this development concept in regional development. There are a lot of failure on the modernization and dependency paradigm that have been in many developing countries like Indonesia as well. The new alternative concept of development now, what we call it indigenous development paradigm, emphasize on the importance of social development, emphasize on human and social capital growth, emphasize on community role, local, and their activities in the development region, either in rural or in urban areas. Let's see the modernization first. The earliest development concept that was started after the World War II, 1945, where Western countries tried to involve in the development of all colonized countries like Europe, who come to Indonesia or to some countries in Africa, America, who involved in development in Latin America or South America. So they call it modernization period, modernization development period. It's not only about state development or country development, it's intervene also rural development, agriculture development in the region. Modernization related to the production theory, to the concept of growth, industrial growth, that engage in regional development. What happened? What is the implication of this modernization? It's not really satisfaction. It's not very satisfactory in developing countries. What happened of modernization in the Western countries is not similar with what happened in developing countries, underdeveloped countries. What happened there? There are regional inequality, ketimpangan antar wilayah, akibat modernisasi yang mungkin tidak memuaskan dalam satu wilayah negara, membuat terjadinya ketimpangan antar wilayah, membuat terjadinya ketimpangan antara desa dan kota, inequality between village and cities, inequality of social economic in rural and urban. Modernization create also dependency. The poor depend on the rich. The poor regions depend on the rich region. The poor city will depend on the rich city. Village depend on the city development. Rural depend on urban development. So that's the impact of modernization, the critique from rural and agriculture development perspective. The other critique modernizations coming from the assumption of evolutionary theory. Earliest modernization theory that follow Western concept, thinking that what happened of development in the Western country will be also similar, will be also happen in developing countries like Indonesia or other Asian countries. So Western should be followed. The direction of modernization in the Western country should be followed. They intervene through their capital. We call it capitalization, capitalist development perspective. Western perspective is capitalist development perspective. They are excessive overlooking the direction of development. They are guiding the direct development of underdeveloped and developing countries. They are too optimistic that we can follow them, similar what happened with them. That's evolutionary thought concept. They are too optimistic that we are here in underdeveloped country can easily follow their way in the Western country. They are wrong. The critical modernization theory also can be based on functionalism theory. Something that everything can be just automatically function. Additional value will automatically adapt the changes. So that the optimistic modernization concept. They are thinking that all developing countries will easily change their traditional value or adapt or functionalize. It's not happen. Look at China, look at Japan. They're able to modernize their own country by using their own traditional values. So modernization is a functionalism concept. Critique to modernization also coming from methodological aspect. Many researchers tend to formulate their argument at high level of abstraction, what we call it high level of assumption, making it difficult to know which country and which historical period they are talking about. Modernization has been critiqued also from radical perspective, so different side, radical perspective. From radical perspective, who really think against the Western concept? So something like socialists criticize the capitalism. So radical perspective is coming from socialistic perspective. Who against the capitalism perspective? They are thinking Western is capital. So socialist country. So that's why China with socialistic country against the Western country. Modernist from the radical perspective, modernization is seen as justification intervention. How they try to do some kind like similar like colonialization in the modern area, in the modern era. So that's what been critiqued by radical perspective. Modernization takes little attention to external dynamic. Means that the third world countries, the developing countries have its own colonial history, inclusive with the multinational corporation. So this is what we call it socialist perspective, that modernization is just a conglomeration of multinational corporation who would like to cover all the third world countries. Modernization is just a way to give away the communism, because capitalism is against communism or against socialism perspective. So Western countries trying to build dependency. They are going to build dependency of the third world countries. So becoming a strong relation between Western and Third World countries to avoid